Let's have a look at using a code editor for JavaScript. For this, we're going to use the Atom editor, which runs on a Mac, but there are many other editors where the same principles apply. So the first thing is colors. These editors show the code using colors, and we saw that before in a previous video where we looked at HTML in one of these editors. So now we're focused on JavaScript. You can see, for example, the editor has used blue for JavaScript command like prompt, and it's used yellow for text like this, and it uses some other colors for some other reasons. Those are added by the editor and they don't go in the source files. Alright, so that helps because if we make a mistake, for example, let's say we accidentally forget to finish our speech marks, then you can see colors completely change, and that helps you identify there's a problem, and you can find out where fairly easily and then fix the problem. Okay, so that's one typical way to use one of these editors. Another one is autocomplete, and let's demonstrate that. So, for example, let's say we're going to write some new code, and we're going to use the variable here, and all we have to do is type a few letters. The editor already knows that you have a variable called username, and it suggests it. So you could select it and then carry on typing if you want to, but we're not going to do that for this particular video. So it tries to help you, it tries to recognize things you've used before and suggest them when it looks like you're going to use them again. Okay, let's have a quick word on indentation. So indentation is the spacing on the left side of the code. And for JavaScript, it doesn't care if you have indentation. It doesn't care if you have any spaces or no spaces, or if you use tabs, or you press the spacebar many times. It doesn't care. So it's your choice whether or not to use indentation with JavaScript, but it's a good idea because it helps you understand what's happening, especially when you use loops and things like that. But fundamentally, it is your choice how to do indentation in JavaScript. Alright, let's have a quick look at comments. So there are two ways to do comments in JavaScript. So let's look at the first way. Let's pretend that our first big line of code, we want to have a difference. We want to change it and make a kind of difference, but we don't want to forget what we used to do. Then all we have to do is do / in front of the line. So that's different to completely deleting it because we can see what it used to be. And then in our new copy, we can make an edit, and perhaps we're going to try this slightly different language. What is your nickname instead of what is your name? But I still want to remember what I used to do. So I want to keep the previous line. I've just changed it to a comment, and then it gets ignored by the browser, but I can still see it myself. So that's one way to use a comment. Another way is, let's say we have a bigger area, then you do / at the start and * at the end. And that will do any size of JavaScript you like, maybe 10 lines of code, no problem. You just do / at the start and then * at the end, and then everything between those two will get hidden from the browser, but you can still read it, which is very useful if you want to know what used to be executed. So those are the two types of comment you can use. Now finally, let's have a quick look at semicolons very briefly. In JavaScript, you're supposed to have a semicolon at the end of each line, and that's what you see here. There is a semicolon, and that is very good practice. You should really do that, have a semicolon at the end of each separate line of JavaScript. Now, you can actually omit it. You can actually do programming of JavaScript without a semicolon. However, it's not a good idea. Sooner or later, you're going to make some kind of mistake. You're going to get confused, or the browser will get confused. So, in general, good idea. At the end of each line of JavaScript, have a semicolon like we've done here. All right, that's the end of our quick introduction to using a code editor for JavaScript.